Hello and welcome to account update number 4 of my classic WoW journey. So today I'm going to be talking about my Feral Druid, Chick-fil-A, his current rating situation, and things to look for in the future, my Mage Kekfila, and my current gold and consumable situation. So let's just get started. So of course you see here, I'm in TL still. It's great, I'm on the server Herod. I'm a Feral Druid. A couple of things have changed since now I've been raiding for Sunday for a while in Dark Flame Pug. And what I want to say is that this is actually going really well. It's becoming a consistent roster. I think Sunday is a really great day to raid, personally. And I really enjoy tanking it. I generally main tank it, but I work with Koira and Reese. And of course, shout out to all the other warriors, Sakats and Irinde that do, off tank and main tank some of the bosses sometimes. Everything's going pretty swell. A couple things I'm going to go over my honor first. So I usually hate PvP, but I kind of PvP'd for a PvE item here. So current situation, I'm rank 8. I might go for maybe a rank 10 situation if I want to get let's say a couple of nice pieces, just cuz I did enjoy PvPing, but I was mostly doing it just to get exalted with the defilers so I can get some awesome shoulders, right? Now since then ZGS came out, I did get some good gear from there, and world bosses did come out. I did get like one piece, and I'm gonna be aiming for maybe some other pieces in world bosses since it's been a lot more consistent lately and a little bit more, I want to say, less of a headache than it was at the beginning. So let's just start with my gear pieces. I'm going to be going over 2 tank sets I have, and then my cat DPS set. And I'm not going to go over my fire resist set, or like a healing set, or my farming set, or my PvP set. I'm just going to be going over 2 tank pieces and my cat. So my first tanking set is going to have a lot of sort of damage, a lot more threat related items here. So as you see here, I did get a 4's eye patch. I have an Ixia Tooth pendant. I have the Defiler's leather shoulder, just the new thing I got. It looks so awesome, right? And then I used Dragon Blood's cape because it has a little bit more stam and strength. Malfurion's Blessed Bulwark, Black Mist Arm Guards. I have a Dragonic Maul if needed, but I usually just end up with Manual Crowd Pummeler. I use a Devil's Sword set. I use Belt of Preserved Head. Now I do have a Molten Belt and a Cloudwater Girdle. Usually I end up using Molten Belt, but because of this set I have working right now, I use Belt of Preserved Heads. Of course, I have the Devil's Sword set, Boots of Shadow Flame, Heavy Dark Iron Ring, and then Band of Ikuria, Hand of Justice, Mark of Tyranny. Now, reality is I can definitely throw in some more aggressive pieces here. I can throw in my Archimedes Ring of Reckoning. I can throw my Circle of Applied Force. And, but this is just to kind of mediate a little bit more offensive choices. I'm using Hand of Justice. And then, of course, the old reliable Mark of Tyranny. Now, with this, I do have 9%. I'm hearing that Druids, they have like actually their hit caps around 8-ish. So you could run 8% hit and be just fine. But I just have them to run 9% because that's what I think runs well with my gear. I wanted to go over also enchants. So while doing a lot of research, I was seeing that a lot of big tanks were using 1% attack speed rather than 8 agility. I was using 8 agility. I did get those enchants at one point, but I decided to go to 1% attack speed after a while because it makes sense for tanking in general. And you can stack that up. You can maul faster. That means when you maul faster, you get faster mauls, which means you do more threat. So, next thing we have is the other tanking set. I use 2% hit. I use Blood Drenched Mask. I don't have an enchant on that because I'm really using more 4s. Dragon Slayer's Medallion, Defiler's Shoulders. I have a Elementium Threaded Cloak. It's the most armor I can get out of a cloak, with lots of other good stats. Same. I have Manual Crowd Pummeler, Devil's Sword, Gauntlets. I still use a Devil's Sword set. This is the thing that's kind of holding me back a little bit from getting a lot of stats as this set. A Molten Belt that has a lot more stats like agility as I'd like. Boots of Shadow Flame. I use the Archimiteros, Ring of Reckoning, Band of Vicuria, and then I use Smoking Heart of the Mountain with a Mark of Tyranny for a lot of armor. Then I balance it out with my Warden Staff and also my Draconic Maul, which does have 15 agility on each of them. And also, I'll just go through my bank just a little bit. I do have 20 manual crab pummelers saved up here. I did have 40 at one point. But I usually use 5 or 6 every week. I don't normally do Molten Core anymore, but I might, you know, again. And I put my liberty of putting iron counterweights on all of these. So they all have 3% bonus attack speed on them. And that's not really a big gold sink. Reality is, it's just a really good attack speed enchant onto something I'm always going to be using. It does require me to have, you know, lots of iron counterweights, which takes about 4 iron bars and 4 core stone. Really, it's not that bad. Now to talk about my current raiding situation. So I moved to a Sunday night raid, and then I ended up, you know, being a really prolific tank in there. And really, this raid is getting a little more serious. We're running a bit faster. We end up having a lot of our buffs left over by the end of Nefarian. And it's really enjoyable, but now I have to kind of change my play style around that. Now that the healers have gotten a little more consistent, like more consistent roster as well with DPS, I need to become more consistent. So I really feel like, one, I need to pool my rage more. So usually I hop out of bear between every fight and look at my buffs and see if I have to do food buffs or not. But now I'm going to have to probably sync that more between trash and not before the boss. Because having a lot of rage before the boss pull will actually just be detrimental and super consistent as far as any boss goes. As well as that, I usually don't have manual crowd pummelers equipped when I change sets. So let's say I change my fire resist set. There's no manual crowd pummeler on that, right? On this set, it wouldn't be, it'd be Draconic Maul, but I recently did change it. So I have a manual crowd pummeler on every set. So no matter what I change to, I'm going to have that weapon and it won't have that 30-second charge. I'm probably just going to be running a manual crowd pummeler the whole raid from now on. And just live with that. It's going to be probably better in the long run if we're consistently pulling bosses very quickly. And as well as this, it's that I really only need one item out of Blackwing Lair right now, and that's Strength Fang Talisman, DFT, big drama ticket item. And I know this is probably more of a priority to druids and warriors, and I think TL is a very warrior-based guild. But I'm not here to like debate, why I should get it. I'm just trying to say what I would replace if I did get it. So of course DFT with a 2% hit, it gives you a lot of options for what you want to put in and out of your other sets. And so what I've been looking into is that you actually want to change out maybe Devil's Sword set if you were able to get those. So if I was to get a DFT, I could replace Hand of Justice or a Mark of Tyranny, right? And I have Hand of Justice. So I have two. I can have more offensive options with having Hand of Justice and Mark of Tyranny. I can use more defensive rings, or I can just use all offensive everything, pretty much. And what you end up changing is actually your legs, which is going to be these Abyssal Leather leggings of striking. So you use these over the Devil's Sword set. And then the gloves, you use your Blood Drenched grips, or there's ones called Primordial Bat grips. I'm not sure. They're bat hands, right? And so it's actually a lot of armor and a lot of good stats on those as well. But Blood Drenched grips are also an option because of the stats on them as well. It's just a better option than this. And then also with that, we have some awesome legs that I'm not exactly the most hopeful to get. I'd be really big bonus if I did, but it'd be these Dark Card pants I would get over the Devil's Sword leggings if this was ever an option for me in the future. Now, to go over my cat gear. Now, of course, I have a manual crowd pummeler equipped. We all know about this awesome item. Actually, the funny thing is you want to have more agility rather than the haste, but it's okay to have these haste. I don't want to get a second set of Devil's Sword set because I'm not usually going cat DPS anyway, but I do have a legitimate cat DPS set. So I have Wolf Set Helm with 8 agility. I use a Nixia Tooth Pendant. 2 Strike Shoulders. By the way, I did get 30 attack power enchant with the ZG recently as well. Cape of the Black Baron. Cadaverous Armor. Wrist Guards of Stability. Devil's Sword set, Belts of Preserved Heads, Shadow Flame Boots, Circle of Applied Force, Don Julio's Band, Hand of Justice, and this is sort of more of a budget option because I don't love popping mana potions all the time. And I use Rune of Metamorphosis, and I love this for when I'm ever running ZGs, for whenever I'm DPSing a lot of other things like in BWL. It's just if I'm not main tanking, right? And so I don't have to pop mana potions to Demonic Runes, but normally if I'm not running this, I just put on a counterweight lodestone. And then we should go to the mage. Okay, awesome. Now, welcome to Kekfila, my mage. Kind of the name of the channel as well. So to go over a few things, I don't really rank on this tune. I am rank 3 because of natural world PvP that was going on. I did not do a single battleground on this character, funny enough. And I'll just kind of jump through my gear and my goals with this character. So my mage is considered an alt. Now, it's not because my druid is, of course, my main, but I really love playing my mage, and I really would love to raid on my mage. Now, mages are a dime a dozen, right? And really, everyone has an alt mage they want to play, and I think my mage is pretty fun to play. I did have him for farming, but then I ended up farming a lot more of Black Lotus than anything, and so I didn't really need to AoE farm. So I'm just gonna go everything real quick. For beginners, I have Herbalism and Alchemy. I just have Alchemy as a means to make Arcanite. Really, I might just get rid of this and get something better out of it, because it just kind of sits there most of the time. It doesn't really make me gold. And yeah, we'll just go over all my gear. So I have tier 2 helm. I have no helm enchant on that because I run ZG, but a lot of people soft reserve idols, and I've only gotten one enchant so far. I have Orb of the Dark Moon, which you can get from, of course, Dark Moon Fair. Netherwind Mantle. Cloak of Consumption. Yeah, it's hot item, big drama item. Bloodvine Vest with 3 stats. It's fine, I'm not really too worried about it. I have a Bloodvine set, by the way, so that's great. I don't have a tailoring, so you know I don't have 2% crit. Tier 2 Bracers, and I'll have the 3 set complete. Corncob Staff. Blood-Tinged Gloves, which I do need to put an enchant on these, but it's not that big of a deal. Fire Moss Clutch. Now, I do have a tier 2 belt in order to, if I need to get a 5 out of 8 piece, which I do have 5 out of 8. And then I also have Bloodvine Leggings, which I do have a tier 2 piece, which I use to get 5 out of 8 whenever I'm trying to AoE farm. Bloodvine Boots. And then I have Band of Servitude from ZG, and Elemental Focus Band. These are very good rings. I'm really happy that my mage got geared out so quickly. And these rings are kind of a big testament of, like, when I got this ring, it was really big, just because it changed a lot. It changed a lot of my rings before where they were just greens. I have Zendalarian Hero Charm. And then I finally have Eye of the Beast. And then for a backup, Dark Moon, Card Twisted Nether for what I'm farming. Now, reality is that I really should be trying to get a Spell Power Trinket from Jed. But I've been kind of waiting on MQG. Now, MQG is sort of a loot council item in my guild, but a lot of mages do have MQG. And I really want to get into something with that. But, I mean, what do, right? Then Touch of Chaos is 18 spell power. Of course, that's from ZG. I was very happy to get that when I got it. Now, kind of a rating situation on my mage. With TL, you'll know that mages are a dime a dozen. And everyone has an alt mage. And I really don't have a rating spot particularly for him. Which, I mean, it is what it is. I hate to say it. I really wish I had a spot somewhere. But reality is I can't really get a spot anywhere with my mage currently. I'm not really willing to flash for raids until AQ 40. Because I don't really think it's quite necessary to get the content down right now. And I just don't have that insane disposable income. Now, a couple things with my current gold situation. I think I'm sitting around about 1,500 raw gold at the moment, which is a lot more than I had before, as you noticed, right? And I have a lot more items saved up, and I do a little bit more fun things with them. I do giveaways for our TL news, and I'm having a new one coming up very soon. Last time I did 3 portal decks, which, you know, it isn't a lot, but it's something, right? And then I'll just kind of go over some of my consumable situations. So usually with my mage, I end up just buying a lot of the consumables I need because I don't personally raid on them too much. Except for, you know, when I get into a run. I make sure I have at least a couple stacks of things I need. Alright, so now we're just going to wrap it up with a little bit of my current consumable situation. I have another bank vault that has lots of potions of mongoose. Don't worry about that. Stone steel potions. Really, really nice, awesome stuff. And I have 12 flasks of the Titans at the moment. And to kind of go over, I have 12 Black Lotuses sitting here, so I can maybe sell them or possibly, you know, make those into more flasks, which I probably will need in the future. And then I have a lot of Fire Blooms saved up, actually for the war effort. I really feel that the Fire Bloom is going to be the really catch prize, where it's going to be holding a lot of the server back as far as getting the gates open. So I personally have been farming Fire Bloom for quite a bit, trying to get that sort of situated. Now, finally, I just want to say thank you to everybody watching this video. I've been having a lot of fun lately, actually, in Classic WoW. And, of course, you can see there's a really big update I just did right there. Now, I really suggest you go out there, maybe make your own sort of update on, like, your account. I love to see videos like this, and I love to see, like, what your thoughts are about these sorts of things. And I really appreciate if you guys did a thumbs up, maybe subscribe sometime, and let me know what you guys thought in the comments. This has been Kekfila. See you next time.